I'm Shannon, and today I'm going to be cosplaying one of everyone's favorite YouTubers, AMAZINGPHIL! I'm starting out by completely changing my face shape with a bronzer. Phil has a super long ovular face, and I have a super short round face, so I'm redefining my jawline and moving it upwards with a fuck ton of bronzer and a big fluffy brush. Next, I am using a tiny, flat, straight brush, I don't know what to call it, and I am reshaping my nose. This was honestly like a work of art. Phil's nose was totally different from mine. It starts out really thin towards the top of the bridge and gets wider as it goes towards the point of his nose. Completely unlike mine, so that is how I'm reshaping it, again with the same bronzer. I'm also reshaping my nostrils a little bit to make them slimmer than my own, about halfway than mine usually, well, naturally go, I guess. And then I'm going to take my finger and blend that all the way out. It's looking good already. Next, I am taking a light gray eyeshadow and then dropping it on the floor, and I am putting that on my jawline because I didn't think it was dark and shadowy enough. Moving on to the eyebrows. Despite Phil's black hair, he has really orangey blonde eyebrows. My eyebrows are super thin and plucked out to oblivion, so I am starting with an orangey eyeshadow and an angled brush and thickening and reshaping my eyebrows. Next, I am using a different angled brush and a dark brown eyeshadow to add some defined lines that look like real wispy hairs into these eyebrows. And now I'm doing the same thing with an even darker gray color. Moving on, I am using some skin-colored concealer, and I am concealing my bottom lash line and my bottom lashes because mine is super dark and Phil's is not. I did the same thing for my upper lash line and my upper lashes and completely concealed those away so they were invisible and I could start fresh. Phil's eye shape is totally different from mine, so I am redrawing a bottom lash line with a light brown eyeshadow and an angled brush in the shape of his, which honestly you'd have to look at the picture because it's impossible to explain. Then I am taking a white eyeliner pencil and I am filling in still under my eyelashes but above that new fake lash line to make it look more realistic. Moving on, I am taking a light pink eyeshadow and doing that from my crease and blending it upwards towards my eyebrow because, I don't know, Phil just has a little pink skin by his eyes and it's super adorable, so I am putting it there for authenticity. I'm darkening the outer corner of my upper lash line and letting my voice crack all over the place in order to get my eye shape a little more accurate to Mr. Lester's. That was really hard to say. Going back to that concealer, I am concealing my upper lip and the outer corners of my bottom lip so I can have a blank canvas to redesign my lips. Using a really natural colored lip liner, I am beginning with my upper lip. Phil's upper lip is a lot higher and pointier with a more intense cupid's bow than my own, so that is what I'm doing. His bottom lip is about equal thickness as mine, but it is shorter, so I am shortening it and redrawing the outer lines of the outside of my bottom lip. That was really hard to explain. Finishing with some chapstick. Moving on to his manliness, which I lack. Well, not altogether, but a little bit. I am using a big fluffy brush and a light gray eyeshadow to create a 5 o'clock shadow that I do not have. Finally, onto the hair. I am fortunate enough that my haircut is really similar to Phil's, however the back of mine was a little too long and mullety, so I simply clipped it up. Some hairs from the front of mine were also a little too long or out of place, too jagged, too emo, so I pulled those behind my ears as well. Finishing up with some styling wax to make it more accurate. And hairspraying that motherfucker to keep it in place. Maybe I shouldn't cuss in a video about adorable little Phil. So I'm using some costume black hairspray that I bought at Party City and spraying the shit out of all the green. It looks a little shiny in the beginning, but it settles and looks more natural as time goes on, so fear not. When this is done, I am looking way too much like Phil, and watching this back is creeping myself out, but I love it. For the finishing touches, I am putting on a classic plaid blue Phil shirt, and I have to take my piercings out because we all know he's got none of those. And for the final step, the cat whiskers! I don't know exactly what kind of marker Dan and Phil used, but I did not want it to stay on forever, so I tried an expo and failed miserably. However, it looked good enough for me. I thought it was cute. At this point, I look just like Phil, and I am creeping myself out. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and leave me a comment telling me who I should cosplay next. Fandom unite! Stay pretty kitties, love you. Bye!